Welcome to my channel. Today we are going to cover cases of unidentified John and Jane Doe cases in Oklahoma. Stillwater John Doe. On November 10, 1988, a deceased newborn was discovered in a brown plastic bag on the side of a gravel road near Western Road and McElroy Road in Stillwater, Oklahoma by tree trimmers. Stillwater is the home to Oklahoma State University. The infant was believed to have been dead for about 2 days before he was found. He weighed 8 pounds and was 23 inches tall, had brown hair and blue eyes. The infant's cause of death was never released by law enforcement. The OSU Police Department investigated the case and followed all leads in 1988, but officers were unable to identify the infant. On Monday, February 24, 2025, law enforcement, mainly the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation, was seen at a cemetery in Cushing, Oklahoma, using ground-penetrating radar to locate the remains of the infant. The grave was located, and the state is now preparing to exhume his grave to test his remains for DNA. The Pawnee County Jane Doe. On August 19, 1982, skeletal remains of a young woman, possibly ages 21 to 35, with brown hair was found 5 miles north of Manford, Oklahoma. According to a Tulsa World article written by Mike Kimbrell, she was discovered by 2 men who were laying water lines for a proposed mobile home site. It's hard to narrow down exactly where she was found, but based on what was posted in a Manford Facebook group, her remains were found around Three Fingers Bay Road and the Camp Victory area. To this day, the area is still very rural. Looking on Google Maps, it is almost a miracle she was found as soon as she was. After her discovery, she was taken for an autopsy by the state medical examiner. They believe her remains had been in the area for 30 to 60 days. She is of uncertain ethnicity. However, police do not believe she is of indigenous or Asian descent. She is either going to be black or white. Paul Renfer, a spokesperson for the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation, said. He further went on to say, she had extensive dental work, which will probably help determine her ID, and she had bridge on either side of her front teeth. She had other injuries found in the autopsy that were not related to her death. A healed fracture to both her right arm and pelvis, a healed puncture to her left pelvis, possibly a gunshot wound, but that could not be determined. Her cause of death could not be determined either, but police believe that her death was a homicide based on the circumstances of her discovery. A white terry cloth dress, Mistra brand, size small, was found with her remains. The Tulsa World article says that a blood-stained dress was found near the remains, but it does not specify if that dress was the white terry cloth one shown. There was also one terry cloth booty found. DA is available for comparison in NamUs, where she is listed as UP12202. She has 4 roll-outs on NamUs. Denise Bowden, who disappeared in 1981. A known victim of the serial killer Terry Rasmussen, Deborah Farmer, who disappeared from Oklahoma City in 1981, and Judy Mundwa, who disappeared from Texas in 1981. I am not sure why they compared her DNA to Donna Kingston, who disappeared in 1984, but she is listed as a rule-out as well. Logan County John Doe. On December 12, 1997, the remains of a male who was estimated to be ages 19 to 23 years old was discovered in a pasture in Guthrie, Oklahoma, near Simpson Road and Bryant Road. He was believed to be Hispanic, Native American, or Asian. The victim had straight black hair, was about 5'6", was wearing Wrangler blue jeans, a Como United Roofing baseball cap with phone number 405-272-0360, Nike tennis shoe size 9, a half and a gold and silver quartz watch. A child size 4 striped sleeveless shirt was also found nearby. Investigators said John Doe was shot in the head and neither of his hands were found with his body. Updated forensic sketches created in 2021 show what the victim may have looked like with different hairstyles. Investigators do not believe John Doe was murdered in the pasture, but elsewhere and dumped there. Due to the condition of his remains, authorities believe he was killed 1 to 2 years before they were discovered. He has 13 rule-outs on NamUs. George Weber from Death Valley, California, last seen in 1996. Blake Wade Pursley from Running Springs, California, last seen in 1994. William Sky Weinisch from Los Angeles, California, last seen in 1997. Johnny Babino from Marrero, Louisiana, last seen in 1995. Paul Wayne Johnson from Phoenix, Arizona, last seen in 1994. Kevin Lemont McClam from Goose Creek, South Carolina, last seen in 1997. Wook Kim from Madison, Wisconsin, last seen in 1993. Douglas John Becker from Anacortes, Washington, last seen in 1992. Raymond Guy Kung from San Francisco, California, last seen in 1981. Terrence Ray Yellowfish from Lawton, Oklahoma, last seen in 1992. Jose Zarasoza Zafiro from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, last seen in 1996. Anthony Kitsap Sam from Auburn, Washington, last seen in 1996. And Leandrew Davis from Tulsa, Oklahoma, last seen in 1984. If you have any information about the case, call Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation. North Central Investigative Regional Office, their phone number is 405-372-1516. The Dora Doe. On October 23, 1994, the body of a woman was discovered 2 miles south of Dora, Arkansas in Sequoia County, Oklahoma at the intersection of Interstate 40 and U.S. Highway 64. A witness told investigators that 19 days before the discovery of the body, on October 5, 1994, between 4 and 4:30 p.m., they saw a white male dragging a black bag near the area where her body was found. The man is described as having dark brown hair, a mustache, and is approximately 6 feet tall. He was reported to have been driving a blue 1990s model Chevrolet Blazer with Arkansas tags. The woman's body had been carefully wrapped in landscaping material and tied up neatly with twine. Her head was found 15 feet away, and her heart and left lung were missing. Investigators believe that Dora Doe was 5'3" with a small build and short, dark, graying hair. A medical examiner determined the woman was close to 50 years old and was of mixed race, Caucasian and possibly Asian or American Indian. The medical examiner never determined her cause of death. After going unidentified for so long, eventually, the woman was buried at Roland Cemetery on Mayfield Road. She has quite a few rule-outs listed on NamUs. Some of the rule-outs do not have profiles on NamUs anymore, which I believe means they have been found or recovered, so I will not include them. Jerry Yell, last seen in Ardmore, Oklahoma in 1994. Linda Davis, last seen in Claremore, Oklahoma in 1976. Penny Peeler, last seen in Enid, Oklahoma in 1990. Tracy Samuels, last seen in Glenpool, Oklahoma in 1993. Laura McIntyre, last seen in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma in 1990. Anna Ernell, last seen in Puddle, Oklahoma in 1981. Buffy Harris, last seen in Tulsa, Oklahoma in 1994. Wanda Clark, last seen in Wagoner, Oklahoma in 1983. Jody Howard, last seen in Wolf Point, Montana in 1991. April Shell, last seen in Las Vegas, Nevada in 1986. Dagmar Linton, last seen in Brennan, Washington in 1986. Phyllis Berry, last seen in Terlingua, Texas in 1975. Hiromi Kazuni, last seen in Fort Myers, Florida, 1986. Patricia Kelly, last seen in Cleveland, Tennessee in 1983. Rose Baker, last seen Whitesboro, Texas in 1980. Jeannie Lofton, last seen in Carthage, Texas in 1994. Vivian Elliott, last seen in Houston, Texas in 1992. Rhonda Boss was last seen in Beaumont, Texas in 1993. And Gloria Barrett, last seen in Colorado Springs, Colorado in 1994. If you know anything that could help identify Dora Doe, please contact the Oklahoma State Medical Examiner at 918-295-3400. If true crime is your thing, please like and subscribe for more content like this. We will bring them home.